Hi there. Here we are. It is Thursday, July 14th, 2022. Look at that fantastic shadow. Isn't light amazing? I think it is. Light is amazing. And light is in the news a lot lately, isn't it? Well, news I've been watching anyway. With this new telescope with its infrared capabilities. Now, Hubble also has some infrared capabilities, but this telescope is primarily infrared, this new one. And there's all these photos coming back. They're really cool. They're really, really cool. But I have questions like, what's going to happen if stuff hits that mirror, that big gold-covered mirror, huh? Where was the gold mined from? He said the beryllium came from Utah. You know, they mine cobalt in Utah as well. And Salt Lake is going all dry, right? Utah is like running out of water. They use a lot of water in the mining processes out there. They got all that salt in Utah, that Jurassic era salt. It's tasty. It is. I bought some. Cooked with it. It's pink and white and sometimes little black flecks in it. They find dinosaur bones out there. What do the Mormons think of all them dinosaurs? Was Jesus out there with them dinosaurs? Did he fly over in his magic underwears? Sorry. I find that all amusing. But who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows? So today I'm going to do a card reading, but I'm also going to do a PSA. I'm going to do PSA. Shirt I'm wearing today is recycled and it's organic. So there was a dress I had. It was a t-shirt dress made out of organic cotton. It had a couple stains in it, a couple tears. So I cut up the dress and I made a t-shirt from it. This is my t-shirt pattern. It's a real simple pattern. It's just two pieces, front and back, right? A little cap sleeve. It's real easy to make. And then the rest of the dress, some of it got caught up into loops that went into my recycled cotton yarn and a rag rug, right? And then some of it got cut up into fluff that went to stuff yoga bolsters and dog cushions, because that's what I do with things. Recycle. It's funny. The other day I was at the fabric store because I needed to buy something in a specific color for something that I'm working on for a special project, right? Sometimes I buy new things too. But I try to limit the new stuff. I try to limit the new stuff to just special things. So I want to make something special for my anniversary, right, to wear when we go out to dinner. I went to go buy t-shirt material, and 4 yards of fabric, $142 of jersey knit, right? Not even organic. So I made a joke to the woman who was cutting the fabric for me, who was, about my age. And I said, "Oh, how do they make all those cheap t-shirt dresses?" And I was wearing one. That I'd gotten on Amazon or whatever for like, $10.99. And, it's slave labor. That's how they do it. And China is so terrible. Like they knock off patterns and designs and stuff all the time. I've had a number of my garment designs knocked off by cheap Chinese companies, right? I've had garments stolen out of my luggage when I've traveled and things. Yeah. China's terrible. China's absolutely terrible. I think that's okay. Like, anyway, she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And I said, "It's a rhetorical question." She's like, "I know." And then And then I said, oh, and I'm wearing one. And she and I are like, you know. And there was this young thing that was, you know, probably like 16, 17 that was working there, summer job, whatever. She's like, oh, did you make your dress? And I'm like, no. The woman just like rolled her eyes. And I said, no, that's what we were just talking about. I said, I didn't make it. I said, this, you know, swishing against my dress. I'm like, this is slave labor. It is. And it's perpetuated by people here in the United States too. Like there was this gal I knew in the apartment complex that we lived in at the cotton mill. And she was looking for somebody in the building to give her a friend discount and hem dresses for her that she bought like lots from estate sales and then resold things that were, you know, sellable or whatever. Yeah, but she didn't have any fucking skills, right? She didn't have any skills. She just had money. And which is so often the case. So I said, oh, I'll hem them for you. But she only wanted to pay me $5 a hem. And then she was mad at me when I didn't go out and buy hem tape. Because some of these fabrics, they needed that because they were delicate old vintage fabrics. And so rather than doing a rolled hem, that was a little too much wear and tear under the machine, you had to put tape or bias tape, hem tape on it and then turn them up, right? Well, she was mad. She was mad because it didn't match. And I'm like, well, you're only going to pay me $5 for this. She's like, well, I thought you were my friend and you give me a friend discount. I said, I'm not paying to do this for you. She's like, well, I can get some Asian lady to do it for me for $5. I'm like, yeah, and it's slave labor. I said, and they're living like 10 people in an apartment. And she was like, eh. I'm like, eh. She was terrible. Terrible. I couldn't believe it. No, I could believe it. I could believe it. But that's the way that shit goes. But the look on the girl's face at the fabric store, she was like, slave labor. I was like, yeah. So like buying garments, you know, you think about that when you buy something. You see how much it is. And wonder like, how am I getting such a good deal, right? Ugh. I was trying to buy 100% linen. And they had all this viscose linen. It's not linen, it's viscose, right? I didn't want viscose. And they had rayon blended linen. I didn't want that either. It's smelly. It smells funny. It does. It smells funny. I just wanted plain old linen. I don't care if it gets wrinkly. But they only had it in a couple colors and a couple weights, and they didn't have what I wanted. So I didn't get it. I will do without it. I will do without it. I have a couple antique or vintage pieces of fabric. They're actually garments. They're both from India. I don't know what the piece is called, but it's the scarf that goes over the sari, right? It's not a sari that I have. It's the chiffon overlay piece with the sequin shinies, all the stuff stitched on it. I have one of those, and then I have another scarf, and I'm not sure if it's from India or not, but it's a piece of silk yardage that has a little like gold print on it, and then over that, the entire piece has been hand stitched in a chevron, right? And a repeating chevron in variegated colors. And it's amazing. It's hand stitched. And all the little knots and everything, the little rosette knots and stuff on it. It's amazing. But I'm like torn about how I want to use it in this garment because I don't want to cut it. Cutting it would destroy it. I certainly don't want to cut it. But I do think I want to gather it. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Be a really interesting piece. But back to my PSA. Talked about my public service announcement about recycling textiles and respecting textiles. Now my PSA here. I want to talk about different groups that prey upon people in compromised situations, and I feel very strongly about this because there's always lots of migration that's happening, and this is something that I learned here in California about some groups that I encountered here. And for anybody particularly coming from Ukraine right now, and coming to this country. And if you're coming through Mexico and crossing the border into the United States and coming into California, there was a few groups that you need to be aware of. First of all, Landmark Forum. Don't give them any money. Don't go to they are called, now all of these groups I'm going to talk about use very, very similar tactics. So I'm talking about Landmark Forum, I'm talking about Curcio, and I'm talking about, of course, anything with the National Labor Federation and anything with the Industrial Areas Foundation. So 2 of these are political groups. 1 of these is a self-improvement group, and 1 is a religious group, right? Landmark Forum is marketed as a self-help, self-improvement group. They have been banned in the country of France. Curcio is affiliated with both the Anglican and the Catholic Church. It is a side group. It's like a club. And then the National Labor Federation has satellite sister organizations all over the United States, and they go by varying names. But if this group, if you encounter a group that sells calendars for the National Labor Federation, stay away from them. And the Industrial Areas Foundation, they're based out of Chicago, and they are funded by Catholic Charities. The last 2 are political groups, right? So, and I would say the same thing for the Unitarian Universalists, but that's a religious organization. And I'm biased against religious organizations across the board, period. But I encountered the Industrial Areas Foundation through Unitarian Universalist Association. But they were also working with the Catholic churches in the area where I was living as well. So they use a technique where they identify people who are vulnerable, right, and have no community, and are looking for community support or a community to be part of. And the tactic that they use is psychological. They bring you into a closed circle and create a sense of, oh, this is a safe, confidential, special place, and the fact that you're here makes you special. Some, like, National Labor Federation calls it labor colleges, right? The Industrial Areas Foundation, they call them house meetings, right? And they say you're going to be a leader in your community. You want to be a leader. Everybody wants to be a leader, right? And in Curcio, it's like, oh, come have a retreat. That's how they trick you in. They say, oh, you just need a retreat. Curcio is not a retreat. The weekend is an isolated indoctrination, and all of these groups do the same thing. And same thing with Landmark. Like, you can't tell anybody. It has to be secret. And I also encountered this mentality in a Qigong circle. And they said, oh, you have to give your loyalty to me as the Qigong leader, and you'll tell me secrets that you won't even share with your husband. And I was just like, excuse me. And so any of these groups where if they're telling you that what you're learning is secret, you need to be leery of the leader, and you need to be leery of the group. So what they do, they get you in small circles. They encourage you to share very personal, private things, the things that are hurting you. Tell us, share, and everybody cries together, and that creates psychologically something that's called a trauma bond, right? You've shared all of this. Oh, me too. Oh, I understand. Oh, that's terrible. And what they're doing is they're getting you to reveal things that can be used against you, right, in the future. So that if you don't do what the group wants you to do, or what the leaders of the group want you to do, what the cadre wants you to do, what the steering committee wants you to do, then they can manipulate or malign or ostracize you, right? They can smear you, right? Then they have dirt on you to destroy your relationships with your family and friends. Kairos is another one. Don't stay away from Kairos. It's the same thing. Kairos is a branch of Curcio. Stay away. It's the same. And they do the same thing. It's the same kind of mentality where they are looking to create trauma bond between people who have actual trauma in their lives and then are able to manipulate them, right? And in Curcio, they do a group confession where your confession is all open and everybody hears it and everything, and then they use those things against you, right? They do. And a lot of the people who are in those groups and leading those groups, they have ulterior motives. Like I found, cliques within community and power struggles and it was just, it's not safe. It's not safe. I really encourage anybody coming to this country right now, whether you're doing so legally or not, and you're looking for community, I encourage safety. I would prefer that people come to this country in a legal manner because it's safer for you and ultimately then safer for the rest of the community. When you come to this country undocumented, you are at the whim of lots of criminal organizations and these other very malignant kind of controlling manipulative groups, and it's just not good. So listen to your gut. Listen to what your intuition is telling you when you meet people. You need to be very, very discerning. And a lot of times, at least with these groups, when I encountered them, it starts with this real warmness of we all need family. We all need connection. Oh, we're all brothers and sisters in Jesus, or whatever it is. The political groups don't say that, but the religious ones, and it's not in your best interest. It really, really isn't. And if anybody has questions about these organizations and what my personal experiences with them have been, I was not a member of Landmark. My husband was. And I was followed around by people when he was doing the weekends, and I was bullied by the people who were in his group. And I went to the recruitment meeting, and it's brainwashing. It really, really is. And the methodology that they use it's like the initial weekend they beat you down until you're like in a crying pulp, right? And it's a psychological destruction. And then they indoctrinate with what their think and speak and lingo and stuff is, right? It's insidious. So there's my PSA announcement for the day. If you are new to the United States, stay away from Curcio, Landmark Forum, the Industrial Areas Foundation, and the National Labor Federation. Faux show. Faux show. Okay. Let's look at the cards, and then after that, I got a couple words for Mr. Elon Musk. I do. Mr. Elon Musk, I was going to write you another letter. But I don't know if you're getting my letters or not. I don't know if you're getting them or not. How am I supposed to know? So, I'll make a public comment to you after I'm done reading my cards for today. Mr. Elon Musk. Ugh. Yeah, my hair's a different color. I wasn't intending to do it just yet. Last week I went to have my nails done, and the woman that does my hair as well, and I just wanted a keratin treatment because my hair was dry and it was breaking, and I needed a keratin treatment. She's like, "Oh, okay, well I have something else that's better." I'm like, "Okay." So she put stuff on my hair. My eyes are burning, and they were pouring asphalt outside. I thought it was the asphalt. I thought it was the tar and the asphalt was making my eyes burn. Like, she put dye in my hair. Well, I can't use conventional dyes because they make me itch, and I'm still itching. Still itch all around my hairline. It's not as bad as it was, but like, my face and everything. Oh, I was so angry. So angry when by the time I got home. Not my, just like, ugh, my skin, and oh, it was awful. So I washed it like a couple times with a strong shampoo. And then I put a darker henna over it. And it helped. But anyway. Just like, why would you put color in my hair if I didn't ask for color? I asked for keratin. Not the same thing. Ugh. Very upset about that. Very upset about that. All right. All right, so in the center we have, this is the energy of the day. We have the zero card, the first card in the deck, the tarot, the Fool. This is a major arcana card, and the Fool just, doesn't know any better. We're all the fool from time to time, right? You can't avoid it. You're not born with all knowledge, right? Well, I think when we're born, the reason we can't speak when we're born is because we still remember. We still remember all the Akashic knowledge. And as we learn our language skills, I believe we forget the majority of what we remember and know. But I think it's why birth is so painful, because you can still remember being in a much better place, right? But anyway, still things you gotta learn as a being. Learn how to work in your meat, and this position. You can be there at any time in your life. Being the Fool, starting out. You can think of that as like people who are leaving their country for whatever reason and going someplace else. It's a bit of a fool's journey where you don't know, right? You don't know what lies ahead of you, and you're doing it just because you have to, right? Just following what's going on. There's nothing inherently wrong with having the aspect of the Fool in your life and in your energy, because it's unavoidable. It's part of the human condition. So that's where we are today. You can also think of it as beginner's mind in some ways, right? Forces at play that you may not be aware of. We have an upright Roman numeral 4, the Rebel, breaking those chains. The Rebel's breaking those chains. Don't even know that what you're doing is chain breaking. And forces at play that you're probably aware of. We have a reversed 5, comparison. So not comparing anymore. Not comparing anymore. You can see the difference. You don't even need to compare. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. You know what's best. Right? You know what the best option is. And course of action, we have an upright number 10. We are the world. Oh, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a better day. So let's start giving. Right? Oh my gosh. Michael Jackson, We Are the World. That was around the time when he had his hairs burned off on the Pepsi stage. Oh, Michael Jackson. And outcome, we have an upright sharing, a major arcana. Look at this. Look at this one. I'm sharing with you. We're sharing. Gotta share. Gotta share. Let's share alike, right? Share. I'm sharing with you my story. I shared with you my experience, didn't I? Shared with you my experience. Stay away. They didn't flip up. So I don't have to pull them. Share with you my experience. Oh, got one that flipped up. All right, so in the center on the Fool, we have an upright Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative. Oh, a thinker. He's foolish he's on a fool's journey going out after her. But he's a thinker. He's going to think about things. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. Invite her over. Oh my God. Who knows? Worst case scenario, she says no. Middle case scenario, your friends. Best case scenario, oh my gosh, right? So forces at play that you may not be aware of. On the upright Roman numeral 4, the rebel, we have a reversed 3 of fire. Abundance, things look very good. Have patience in this time. Make long-term plans. So this rebellious energy is not helpful. Oh my, that sucks. You don't even know what's going on. It's not even helpful. And forces at play that you are aware of, probably are aware of, the reverse comparison, no comparison, right? We have, up on top of that, we have an upright 2 of earth. Too much going on at once. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. You're just trying too hard. You're just trying too hard. Just old-fashioned way, face to face. Face to face. Say, hey, I'd like to get to know you, right? And oh my goodness, look at this. On course of action in the upright 10, we are the world. We have another upright 10 and another major arcana. The wheel. Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. Oh my goodness, thank goodness you got the information, right? Thank goodness you got the information. Now you can start moving forward. That's so exciting. And then on the outcome, the upright major arcana sharing, we have a reverse 16 life experience, Archangel Chamuel, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings. So you got the advice, right? And so now you know. You got the advice, so you don't have to go through it. It's like learning from somebody else's experience, right? Yeah. Oh, flipped up. There we go. Whew. So, in the center, we have on the Fool, upright Fool, and the upright Knight of Water, we have an upright 3, truth, higher truth. That's the truth, right? So the Fool's journey is to find the truth, and the truth is there. There it is. There it is. You got the advice, and there's the truth. You got your truth. So forces at play that you may not be aware of. On the upright Roman numeral 4, the rebel, and the reverse 3 of fire, we have an upright 30. Grandmother Crystal Deva, miracle healing. Can't believe it. It actually happened. It's getting that good old advice from an old lady, from someone who's like a grandma. It doesn't mean it is a grandma, but it's somebody who has had some experience, right? Had some experience. And on the reversed 5 comparison, no comparison. There's no comparison. And the upright 2 of earth, too much going on. We have a reversed 11 grounding balancer. Oh, teetering on the edge. Got to make a choice, huh? Got to make a choice. And course of action on the upright 10, we are the world. Upright 10, the wheel. We have an upright 13, embracing the shadow. Shadow love. Oh, it's been hiding there in the shadows, and now you're going to go for it. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. What do they say? It's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all, but sometimes you get to hold on, right? And it's worth it, right? It's worth it. So the outcome and the upright sharing and the reversed 16 life experience, we have a reversed 26 in hydro, emotional cleansing. No tears, baby. Feelings are still there. The feelings are still there, and they're strong and they're real. That's what you got. Love, it's what I got. Anyway, so I said I was going to have a little message for Mr. Elon Musk. Mr. Elon Musk, I have a message for you. You making all these technology things, you could really do humanity a favor. And I'm talking about women humanity. I know how much you love boobies. You made them booby jokes, and people got all angry that you made booby jokes, whatever. I like booby jokes are good. I got boobies, and boobies are funny. It's the reason they call them boobs. Call somebody a boob, they're being silly boob. Boobs are funny. And they're also heavy. Real ones. You know? They're real heavy, and they hurt sometimes. You know, it's a lot of weight to carry. They're really heavy. They're really heavy. Last night, Omar was just holding them up for me. He just stood in front of me. He just held them up. He just held them up, and it was just, I can hold them up for myself too like this. I can do this, but it's not quite the same because I still have the weight and it's on my body. But he was holding them up. It was all that weight that was off my back. I felt lighter than air. It was fantastic. I said to him, I need some sort of like sling that I can just walk up to and rest my boobies in every now and then. I can hang it from the ceiling, just rest my boobies and give my back a rest, right? Well, why don't you make something? Get a couple drones, get a couple Elon Musk booby drones that are holding a sling and hold your titties up for you. You don't have to have it around all the time, right? But like an hour a week? An hour a day? Hold my boobies up for an hour a day? Oh, because even when I'm wearing a good bra, that weight is still on my back. Weightless boobies. That's what I need. Weightless boobies. Hold them up. Mr. Elon Musk, please make me some anti-gravity booby holders. Yeah. You put your face on the drones. Elon cares about the boobies. He cares about the boobies. I'd buy that. You could sell it in a Sharper Image catalog. Have a good day.